Today, an interview in action from the ViVE event down here in Miami. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16-hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels dedicated to keeping health IT staff current and engaged. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: Gordian Dynamics, Quill Health, Tausight, Nuance, Canon Medical, and Current Health. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. And now, on to our interview. All right, here we are from ViVE 2022, and we are here with Andy Crowder with Atrium Health. How are things going?
Well, it's been a blast so far this week. It's been a great event.
Yeah, it's a little different normally than what we do. We used to do the Chime Spring Forum the day before, and then we'd go into HIMSS, and they were two very distinct events. This is sort of mix and match. I mean, it's going on at the same time.
Feels a little bit more like an integrated event, like it's all pieced together the right way. So
yeah. So, what are you excited about? What are you seeing out here that you're excited about?
I think that some of the work with brand new startups, the early stage companies, allowing us to see innovative products and players is different. You know, you can get kind of relaxed about your stack of solutions and where you're at, and it kind of opens up a different side of your brain a little bit.
That's the thing I like. You actually talk to some of the owners and the founders and the developers in here. You're like, how are you thinking about this? What are you looking at? I know you and I have talked about this before. I met with Andrew with Artisight this morning. I mean, sometimes when you see that technology, you sit there and you go, this will work.
This is a game changer.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Top of mind at Atrium right now?
So, huge growth, huge success. I think the war on talent, keeping your top talent engaged and happy with choice and flexibility is really key, and attracting right talent for these critical roles.
You know, I'm talking to some of the smaller health systems, and they're afraid of you. Here's why. I was talking to somebody this morning. And
we have a for-all mission. They shouldn't be afraid.
We do, but I mean, the fear is, you know, they're a smaller health system, rural, but they have an epic shop.
Yeah.
They have some great analysts. They have some great, farm techs and other people, and they're getting picked up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're maybe not so worried about you as much as they are worried about the New York hospitals, the DC hospitals and whatnot, who come in and offer these rates to these people.
Rates are high.
And it's really challenging. But you also have that challenge. How many unfilled positions do you have, do you think?
We're actually in a pretty good spot right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in a really good spot. You know, I think that on our entry level, we're able to attract and retain. I think that in some of our seasons, people ready to go from manager to director and director to AVP. Those are the rungs where you've got great experience, great EQ and IQ, and organizations are targeting. They know how to come in 1 layer, 2 layers deep and get the people that you're grooming, so you have to be very responsive in that space.
But you also applaud when they go off to somewhere else and do something.
You know what, I think if you focus on what's best for the individual, karma plays a great role, and they come back to you at different times and you attract people differently. So,
yeah, I love walking through here because I see people progressing in their careers.
It's fun.
It is a lot of fun. So I want to talk to you about technology. We could easily talk about, because I've talked to so many people about what you're doing in terms of the real estate play and hiring in 48 states and those kinds of things. And I think that's really interesting, and we could have a dynamic talk around that. But I want to talk around the technology, the digital front door, maybe addressing the clinical staffing shortage. I mean, what are some things you're being asked to do as a CIO right
now? So I think the first thing is that the CIO is really a strategy and direction setter. They're as much a transformation agent, business partner for innovation as they've ever been before. I think that COVID and the pandemic opened up people's minds at how innovative and beneficial we could be to solutions. So we're in conversations that we probably weren't in 3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They understand the power of what tech and digital can do today because they did it over the past year and a half.
So anytime there's an intersection of technology and healthcare, the CIO is now at the table.
Absolutely.
We used to have to fight to get at the table, but now that it happens.
Now we've got too many tables to get to, so we've got to put our teams in all of these spots, which is a great opportunity for them.
I think I told you this before. There was a meeting I was at, and we had 6 or 8 pillars of our strategy, and they said, all right, now whichever one you're interested in, go up to that board and interact with people. Mm-hmm. And people kept coming over to me going, we need you at ours, we need you at ours.
Absolutely, it's an awesome place to be. I mean, if you're service-minded and service-oriented and you like change, I can't think of a better place to be right now.
But that's why it's so important to have lieutenants. What are you doing to train that next generation, that next group of people just underneath you?
So they do things like this week in health IT. I mean, I think the collaboration of people in this industry and the way you deliver it. I think Chime is a great teacher and collaborator of people. The boot camps, the CMIO activities. It's a great place to build connection and to get perspective outside of their own four walls.
New skill sets required for a manager in this remote world?
Yeah. So I mean, what's interesting is when we did one of these surveys for the employees, it was like 95% of them were really favorable on it, and some of the managers were scared. How do I keep morale? How do I get culture built? And so, thankfully, Jim Dunn and our HR team and our HR partners did a phenomenal job of arming them with tips and tools and rituals to keep the team connected. And so it's been really rewarding to watch.
Those relationships
Yeah.
amongst the executive team, it feels to me like they've gotten a lot tighter through COVID, even though the distance is greater.
Yeah, I think they have. And, you know, with COVID, you know, we had a common enemy that united us all to be different and act different. Partnerships outside of our core healthcare system, and I think it created a new culture and behavior that we're going, you know what, this works every day and everything else. So
M&A, you guys do a fair amount of M&A. Have we nailed this yet? I mean, do we have like a playbook and it comes together?
So Gene Woods and Anthony DeFurio and some of our other senior leaders have an integration management office. We've developed multiple versions of the playbook on how we do it. I think the thing that is the most key right out of the gate is before you get into execution of that, making sure that it's a cultural fit.
Right.
If it's a cultural fit, trust is built quickly and you can get to action and results really, really well. So we're improving it. I've seen 3 or 4 versions of our own playbook. It gets better every time, and you have to be good at listening.
So is it you might not, Gene might be the right person to ask this.
Yeah.
I mean, are you looking for culture when you're going in there? Are you looking for that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think there's some, if you think about our For All mission and how we connect with the communities that we serve and how we treat people, you can usually tell pretty early on, and Gene has got great EQ on this, as do our other leaders, and go, this one's a quick yes, and this one's a quick no.
So Scripps that's where your CIO before was primarily an urban population.
Mm-hmm.
You stretched to the 4 winds here. I mean, we're talking North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina a little bit.
Yeah. Alabama.
Yeah, so you're touching a lot of different. I mean, is it very different as you're looking at those different populations?
Well, I mean, I think that you can have an enterprise view, but care is local, and every community has its own view and lens of that. And what you do in a rural community, in critical access areas, in different populations is very different what you do in the core markets. And having the ability to leverage what the core enterprise has and deliver that same care in those markets, that's the power of scale and enterprise.
So I wanted to ask somebody this. You could answer it, you may not answer it. It's entirely up to you. But as we look at the M&A stuff, we have Cerner shops, we have Meditech shops, we have Epic shops. I mean, when you go in there, how important is it to get on that single platform? Because I mean, from a clinical driving, clinical adherence to standards and those kind of things, you want to be on a single platform, but it is kind of disruptive.
It is disruptive. You know, we've had great relationships with all of our enterprise vendors, and they've been very helpful to make sure that we can do it effectively and efficiently and get to outcomes soon. But I think if you're going to have scale and you're going to be able to deliver same great clinical care for oncology and all of these different specialties, you've got to have that platform to spread the data, the analytics, and the insights. And I guess it can be done, but I think the cost is prohibitive, and I think your speed to market is really reduced.
It's interesting because I think more and more organizations are going to that mindset of saying, look, as they're negotiating a deal.
Yes.
Sometimes that wasn't even on the table. They were saying, we'll figure it out later. But now
it's usually what you're leading with, and many of those organizations are coming because they couldn't acquire those assets or those capabilities without a partnership, and they're coming to the table. I just left a conversation 20 minutes ago about that same topic.
Fantastic. Andy, I want to thank you for your time.
Well, it's awesome.
Thanks for
everything you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You. See you guys.